Hey guys, this is a Cozy Room Drive-In. We're just talking about how to raise well-rounded kids. You heard it here first. Alright, so my idea of well-rounded kids are kids that can adapt in any environment, at any time, no matter where they're from. Even before I had kids, I've always looked at other children who live in New York and would be coming from school or going to school and taking a train with no parent around. It's kind of like, damn, like that's the type of kid I want, where they know where they need to be, know what they need to be doing, semi-independent, where they know what stop they need to get off, and they know they have to be at school at a certain time. Like, those type of children are efficient, where things in adult life are going to make more sense sooner than later because, being that, yes, I have 2 kids now where how we get to and from is we get in the car or we walk from the car into like the store or into like a building, but I'm always there to take them, or someone else that's an adult is always there to take them. They're not really taking a bus or having to take a train all the time or walk from the house to the actual place I needed to go. So it's different. No, I don't want no kids that are extremely shelters. And they're in here eating my snacks.
I eat all your snacks.
Get away. So, the world doesn't revolve around you, so we have to expose our kids to the elderly, expose them to homeless people, how to, handle themselves around homeless people, how to handle themselves around special needs kids or other people, or other people that speak different languages. I was just at the park with the girls yesterday, and this lady who was Middle Eastern, she was speaking to her son in a different language, and Anya's like sliding down the slide, mid-slide, and she goes, "Why you talk like that?" And I said, "Anya, she just speaks differently." And then the lady looked at her and she was like, how can I say this so she understands? Well, she said, I'm Middle Eastern and I come from this place and I speak this. And so Anya goes, oh. And then she goes back to playing. But exposing them to people who speak differently is key, and we have to do it. Go. Because it's going to let them be well-rounded and be comfortable with other people being different. And we have to teach them the importance in more giving than getting all the time. Kids always want to tell you what they want. They always tell you, can I have? Well, we have to flip it on them and say, well, can you give this person this? And let's give this. So we have to change, the whole discussion on, what people need. I don't have any crackers, sorry. Smart children are always willing to learn, talk, about what's going on, communicate with their teachers, encourage other kids to do stuff. They're only going to repeat what you do. They're only going to look at, how you treat other people. So if you're doing it the right way, then they should be acting accordingly. We have to help them study. Sometimes we have to act like what they're interested in, we're interested in it too. We have to be respectful, to them. You have to teach them how to be respectful at an early age. Give them respect and boundaries, because boundaries are going to be good, because some people in their adult life don't learn boundaries. And then managers got to deal with people that don't know boundaries. Customers have to deal with people that don't know boundaries. Authority has to deal with people who don't know boundaries. So nip it in the bud and teach your kids. As parents, we got to live up to our kids' expectations. Meaning, if we're telling them to be obedient about something, or telling them that there's consequences for doing something, then we need to be examples of that. We need to show them what happens when we don't do things the right way. If we're trying to build up their confidence, we can't be moping around them because they want to know why, our confidence is not up there. Like, how can we teach them compassion if we're not compassionate? Being obedient means being consistent. Children need consistency. That's one of the reasons why, for my 4-year-old, her father, how he wants to interact with her is not going to work because he's not consistent. And I don't know how long or how many times I got to tell him that consistency is important, especially for the fact that she's no longer a baby. And if you can't be consistent, then be in her life and be prepared when you can be consistent. We remind them of their place, meaning when they're out, acting out, doing things out the blue because someone new stepped in the room or because there's a group of kids there, they want to show off, we got to give them that stare down. We have to remind them that, hey, this don't change nothing. The respect level is still here, so I'm going to need you to act accordingly. And that's going to let them know that even when I'm not here, I'm here. Even when they're not in front of you, they should be respectful and they should do all the things that you taught them how to do. Not letting them get away with murder, meaning if they do something they're not supposed to do, don't coddle them. Don't give them a toy to get them, onto something else. Address it. If they need to apologize to somebody, make them apologize to somebody. If they need to go ahead and pick up a mess that they made, let them pick up the mess that they made. And don't let them scream and cry out in the middle of a room because they don't want to clean it up or do what they're supposed to do. You should not be a escape route for your child doing what they're supposed to do. And a lot of adults right now are escape routes when it comes to their parents from doing what they're supposed to do or doing things the right way. And I'm not about to raise neither one of my 2 kids like that. Even when I show up, you still need to do what you're supposed to do. We have to teach them how to be prudent about life. Meaning, thinking before they speak. Let them know why it's important to keep personal info quiet. Like my 4-year-old, she loves to tell people her name. She loves to tell people my name, my first name. She loves to tell people Ari's name. Thank God she doesn't know my address by heart yet or my phone number. But she doesn't understand that, hey, you don't tell strangers this. Let alone she doesn't understand the concept of strangers. She loves to give hugs. What's so funny, Ari? I'm still teaching her personal space, so that's hard for her, but I think the more that she's around other kids, the more that she'll understand that. But we have to teach them those things. It's important. And consequences, like, hey, discipline your child how do you want to discipline your child, but these hands, you already know. I have no problem giving whoopings. I have no problem sending you to your room. I have no problem grabbing you up in the store if you're not acting right. Like, I'm not about to deal with that. What else? We have to build their confidence by allowing them to mess up. Sometimes kids need to mess up. Sometimes, kids need to experience what it is to feel embarrassed. But we shouldn't go out our way to embarrass our children. Like, that's not our job to embarrass our children. And we have to let them be themselves. Some of our kids are going to be, quote unquote, weird. There's nothing wrong with being weird. To me, being weird is just being different. And if you're weird and that's who, you truly are, I don't want my child to be anything different. Embrace their uniqueness. If they do things differently, that's fine. If they eat weird, that's fine. As long as it's not nasty and they're not throwing food across the room, that's cool. You know, love them unexpectedly, meaning sometimes you have to burst into their room and hug them up, give them kisses. Sometimes you have to do things for them out the blue. Be spontaneous about, what y'all do together. Sometimes that has to be done. That's spontaneously and going out your way to love them unexpectedly. Writing them notes, giving them stickers, or telling them that, thank you for doing such and such. Letting them know you appreciate them. That's showing love unexpectedly, and we have to do it. Compassion, I feel like, that's why it's important for kids to be around animals. Animals, don't ask to be our pets. They don't ask to be in zoos. But because they can't do anything for us, and we can do so much for them as human beings, having a child be around animals is a good thing, and that's going to help them build their compassion, knowing how to do for something or someone else that can't give them anything. That's giving compassion. I think this Christmas, instead of me focus on buying them a whole bunch of gifts, I want to take them somewhere where they give out gifts, so they get that whole idea in their head too, because that's very important. And I don't think a lot of people do a lot of that. And the whole concept of quote unquote Christmas for me is not the Santa Claus. It's not what can I get. It's what good thing that's gonna make somebody else happy that I can do. Yes, Ari. But yes, that is it for raising well-rounded kids. And take them outside of the suburbs, as that's what they used to. And if they haven't been to the city, take them into the city. And if they live in the city, take them to the suburbs. Take them to the country. Go camping. Travel. That's going to give you well-rounded children. Okay? Come on. Life is not a bubble. Get them out here. This is Shan. Thank you for listening to Cozy Room. Say bye-bye.
Bye-bye.